I'm saying this because there are freshers here. You can come to this campus as a virgin. You can come to this campus as the daughter of a pastor. It's not an insurance. The moment you drift to the economy of flesh, you become dust. The moment you drift to the economy of flesh, you can be smitten by the environment. You can bear the name Sandra, Michael. Your name can even be Jesus. Have you gone to Mexico? Some of them are called Jesus Navas. But you are called Jesus does not mean you are living in the spirit. Most of you will come here and the flesh will begin to rule you. You will become dust. And the serpent will eat you up. It will eat you. Engineering has no insurance for it. Medicine has no insurance for it. Sociology, psychology have no insurance for it. Chemistry have no insurance for it. The only way to live as the God man is to walk in the spirit. That's why I told you yesterday, advice is good, it's not enough. A man who is ruled by flesh, advise him for 1 year. The moment he steps out, the flesh lusted against the spirit, the spirit against the flesh, and the two are contrary one to another. That's why I said the heir, so long as he's a child, differeth nothing from the servant. Even though he be Lord of all, he can be a slave if he's ruled by flesh. The first knowledge you must have as a believer is how to walk in the spirit. Else, you become a puppet in the hands of the serpent. Because when he comes with his seduction, you will discover that your heart will fail you. Your decisions will fail you. Your resolve will fail you because you are a man of the flesh. It doesn't matter if you are a Christian or a Muslim. The Muslim is the fallen man. He doesn't have Christ. The Christian that has Christ, if he lives in the flesh, he's a slave. And the serpent can eat him up. The sun can smite him by day and the moon by night. So the cure is in Psalm 91. He said, they that dwells in the secret place of the Lord shall abide under the shadows of the Almighty. If you cannot walk in the spirit, you can bear the title of a Christian, but you will know that your life in the secret is a betrayer of your confession in the public. This is the cry and the calamity of many believers, because they confess things that they don't know the economy to walk in. If you don't understand the economy, your confessions can help you. There's a protocol of walking in the spirit. Paul came, he said, dearly beloved, in Romans 12:1-2, I beseech you by the mercies of God that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. He said, then will you be able to show. So the ability to manifest the God life is a function of the protocol. I hear a lot of people, they quote Romans chapter 8:9. You are not in the flesh, but you are in the spirit. Paul came back and said, if ye be in the spirit, therefore walk in the spirit. Born again in the spirit, but walking in the flesh, you are dust. The serpent can devour you at will. And when the serpent comes, like I began, the idea is not now. Most times they have looked into the spirit and they have seen that the star of this child is a king. Like he saw that Adam was supposed to be a custodian of the glory. So when he came to Adam, he was not being benevolent. He wanted to cut him off from glory. I told you yesterday, some of you are prophets. From a child, you started seeing visions. You knew things before they happened. The devil waited for you until he taught you the way of the flesh. And then the more he fed your flesh, the more you became blind. So what he's doing is that he is robbing you of your eternal ordination. What you call sex for a moment, and you tell yourself, I can confess. What you have done is that you have bargained your destiny like Esau, and the Bible called him profane. He said when he sought it with tears, he could not have it back, because the ordination of God upon your life is not for you alone. If you fail, God will lift it up and put it on another David. When Stephen was stoned to death, they thought it was over. Saul was there consenting with him, and the mantle lifted from Stephen and rested on him. God can move what is on your life to another, because the spirit of Elijah is not only with the Tishbite, it can be with John the Baptist. You will bargain your destiny for Chem 101. What you don't know is that the devil have seen into the future, and he saw a governor that God wants to exalt to authority. So that day you cheated in Chem 101, if mercy doesn't speak for you, you bargain your throne in the future. Because when the serpent came to Eve, Eve thought it was about an apple. It was far from a fruit. It was glory. It was bargaining. At the end of the day, the authority that Adam had, the devil had it, and he had the right to regulate it. And even Jesus did not challenge him. You ancient Zion's king, Kadosh, Kadosh, you are mighty on your throne. I'm telling you this so that in a bid to get BSc chemistry, you don't trade the prophet that is in you. Don't exchange the governor that is in you because you want to get BSc physics. Don't bargain the apostolic mantle that is on your life because you want to get MBBS. The school, the certificate can become a corridor of trade for your destiny. The devil is wild. He said the wisdom of this world is first of all sensual. That means there is a wisdom in this world. That wisdom can bargain your destiny. It is never about the morsel of pottage. It is never about the fruit. It's always about ordination. Many are not aware. They don't understand the legality of the spirit realm. So they do what they want to do. The reason is because they are dust. He can come with seduction and draw them out of destiny. John came, he said, they that love the world, the love of the Father is not in them. Have you bargained your sight in the spirit for a lady? Have you bargained the authority of God that is in your hand for 5 minutes sex? Have you bargained your destiny? You don't know you are the priest over your family. He says, Simon, Simon, Satan desires to have you and to sift you like wheat, but I have prayed for you, and when thou art recovered, strengthen thy brethren. So when he came for Simon, he came for all the apostles. Do you know if you are the priest over your family? Do you know if you are the priest over your state, and then you bargain it because you needed to add 5 marks to get a C in social 104? We are not taught kingdom. We are not taught government. We are not taught the dimensions of justice and equity in the spirit realm. You have come to a ground of treachery. This is a marketplace in the spirit. There are more demons here than there are lecturers. And most of you, by the time you are in 300 level, you will discover you are scoring an A in wardom. Because every Friday you will be addicted to a club, and all your dress will become seductive. You will learn faster in the spirit than in the natural. You are mighty on your throne. You reign, you reign, you reign, you reign, God. You are mighty on your throne. How do you walk in the spirit? The biggest lesson of your life is what I want to show you now. Your certificate is supposed to be an advantage, but if you are not careful, it will become what you trade your destiny for. The biggest lesson until you walk in the spirit, you cannot maximize nature. The devil will use nature to maximize you, so you become his agent, whether you know it or not. You need to understand demonic intelligence. The lady that was screaming yesterday said she was sent to disrupt the meeting, but there are many believers that just thrown into the meeting. It's another gathering, freshers night, and you came to watch drama, to laugh and go back. Meanwhile, in the demonic realm, they sent their agent. It was the power of God that picked her out. And when I released fire on her, she wanted to distract me, when God was still ministering to people, so that I'll spend 15 minutes in casting out the demon. Meanwhile, when you gave the command, the demon left already. But the soul of the lady is connected to the demon. So even though the demon is outside, he's still manipulating her, and you think the demon is still in her. And then you spend 30 minutes, 1 hour, wasting the service. The people that should receive impartation, you use that time wasting on the demon. The Bible said Jesus came down from the mountain. He casted the deaf and dumb spirit, and the spirit threw the boy down. The boy formed. Jesus didn't say anything to him. You don't know demonic intelligence. You stroll casually to a meeting, you think it's casual. Your destiny is being bargained the day you enter the gate of Uniport. They saw your star, and some of you, they saw you even in your mother's womb. And then you come to time, you give yourself to the deception of Nakash. The demon comes with seduction and deceives you, and you step out of your king or your destiny. He said, I looked from my window, I saw a young man who is void of understanding. He took the path of the harlot. Her husband had traveled, and she had dressed her bed with rubies, and then he dragged the young man, and the young man went her way. He was a man without understanding. He had gone the path of destruction. Are you learning something this morning? You reign, you ancient Zion's king. Cry out, Kadosh. You are mighty on your throne. I wish God show you your dimension in the spirit. You know, Adam didn't see his dimension, so he thought he was a man. If only he had seen his dimension, he will know that he's a God, because he was created in the image and the likeness of a God. He will know that he was a ruler over the serpent and the constellation, but he didn't see his dimension. Some of you here who are weak and living in immorality, if you see yourself in the spirit, you are a flame of fire. You are a flame, but you give to deception, you give to flesh, and you have become the dust that the serpent devours at will. How do you walk in the spirit? By making the presence of God your habitation. And the first thing to do is to begin to wait upon the Lord. Waiting upon the Lord, the culture that is being lost in our generation. Everything is on speed, so we are all running from pillar to pole. Men can no longer wait. We are in a hurry for everything. But in the spirit, he said, when you wait, you mount up with wings like the eagles. That means you fly every time you begin to wait. You know what is happening to you? You are going above the sun and the moon. So the sun and the moon can no longer smite you by day.